Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Jamal from Fantasy Life, and if you like this video, make sure you like, subscribe, favorite, all that good stuff. Let's get into the video. Now, today I want to talk about the armor break move. The Aftermath DLC has this new mechanic called the armor break move, similar to like what Spawn does, where it can break through your armor break system, which is a really good idea. But I have some critiques about it. So if you like this video, again, make sure you like, subscribe, favorite, all that good stuff. Let's get into the motherfucking video. Now, dealing with NetherRealm is like dealing with a double-edged sword. Like they have good visuals, good animations, they have good ideas, but their implementation of these ideas are absolutely terrible. Oh my god. First of all, let me commend them for the trailer. Like, Fujin looks amazing, and the idea of the armor break is really good. Most people in the community would probably want to get rid of the breakaway system in its entirety, but since they're not going to do that, the armor break is probably like the next best thing. The problem is the implementation of the armor break is where things fall apart. Now, some people's armor breaks are going to be far better than others. And then you're gonna have some people's armor break who's gonna be absolutely shit, absolutely terrible, if you can even connect it. As it stands, this is Scorpion's armor break, his back 3. It's a 27 frame startup. That's a long startup on it. Now, I know with Sub-Zero's, his forward 4, they said that they were gonna make it a little bit faster. My guess is to be able to connect with more consistency. If they do the same thing with Scorpion, what they're gonna do is give Scorpion a really good overhead. That's what they're gonna end up doing if they make this move faster. But if they don't make it faster, it's gonna be near impossible to catch people with this because of how slow the startup on it. Another thing too, it's 24 frames recovery. So if you miss it, if you mistime it and you whiff, you can get punished. There's a good chance that they can probably wake up punish you if you miss. If you mistime it and you whiff, the recovery on that thing, you might be able to get wake up punished. If anything, it's it's no longer your turn at the very least. So that is extremely interesting, and I'm kind of confused as to why would they do the back 3 as his pop up. Now, the cool thing is Scorpion is one of the better ones, in which if he does catch you with his back 3, it pops you up in the air, and then he can get a full combo out of it. The problem is, not everybody has that option. Some people's moves don't pop you up. Like Scorpions and Spawns are the good ones because they can pop you up and continue comboing. And continue doing that air juggle. Now, the reason the breakaway is so that you don't get air comboed, and the armor break, I assumed, would be so that you can continue your air combo that you earned. Like, it is difficult to be able to launch people in the air sometimes and then continue to, juggle them, especially with that armor break. So the reward is if you make the right read and they go for the armor, they go for the breakaway, and you do the armor break, it pops them back up if you make the right read. So that's the double-edged sword in that part right there, is because in the event that you do go for the combo, and let's say they don't break away, but you go for the armor break system, what you're doing is you're sacrificing a ton of damage. You're sacrificing a crap ton of potential damage. Bang, that's 30% right there. Now, if I did this and thought that they were gonna break away, well, if they don't break away, let's say I hit them, at most I'm doing maybe 20% at most. So I'm sacrificing another 10% of damage in order to make the read. Now, the reward is if I make the right read, it pops them in the air, and I can continue to combo and potentially get more damage. Now, my problem with this, is that, again, Scorpions pop you up, but somebody like Sub-Zero doesn't pop you up. His does flat damage. It has a crushing blow attachment, but it's a one-time thing. In a typical fight, you can break away between 3 to 6 times in a fight. You can break away at least 1 time per round, sometimes twice per round. So that can be anywhere between 3 to like 6 times per round somebody can break away. So you mean to tell me that somebody like Sub-Zero only gets a one-time crushing blow, then after that his breakaway basically becomes absolutely irrelevant. It becomes absolutely irrelevant. Like, why would I continue to go for this forward 4, which has a 28 frame startup? That's even slower than Scorpion's back 3, and 29 frames of recovery, which means that he will more. That's a half a second. If I whiff this, if a Sub-Zero player whiffs this, he can probably get wake up punished for attempting that if it's mistimed. And that's a big problem. That's a huge problem, because like once you get the crushing blow on this move becomes irrelevant for armor break. You're back to doing what all Sub-Zeros do, and that's just down twoing, because that's what Sub-Zeros will do. If they think they're gonna this is what most people do. Let me not just say Sub-Zero. That's what most people do. If they think you're gonna break away, they'll just do an uppercut. And that gets to the point I'm trying to make, is that they should have just made the uppercut the break, the armor break. Make the uppercut the armor break, and make it to where it relaunches them, so that you can then continue the combo that you earn. That makes it absolutely fair in my book, because then that means the down 2 is something that every character in this game has. Every character has a down 2, and that means if the down 2 relaunches, that means every character in the game has a way to relaunch you if you break away. And in my mind, I think that is the most fair thing they can do, because you work hard to be able to launch people in the air, and it kind of sucks that if your character is going to be one of those characters that don't have a way to relaunch them in the air so you can continue the combo you earned. You feel me? So like somebody like Sub-Zero, again, once he catches this forward 4, it becomes absolutely useless. Yes, he'll get that one-time damage, that big boy damage, but after that, it's just 90%, and that's assuming it doesn't scale. Chances are it will scale a bit. But yeah, it'll just be a 90% damage. Now imagine how much damage you're giving up. A lot of damage in order to go for that forward 4. And again, if it's only the one-time thing, like, you would never do it again. So next up on the list is Shao Kahn. So the thing about Scorpion and Sub-Zero's armor breaks is that their armor breaks don't use any sort of resources. So like, it costs Scorpion nothing to go for the back 3. It costs Sub-Zero nothing to go for the forward 4. But Shao Kahn, on the other hand, in order to do Shao Kahn's armor break, you have to burn meter. You have to burn meter in order to do it. The problem with that is, did you see the difference in the move? So if you burn meter, you can launch them, and then if you launch them, you can do a full combo for some big boy damage. You feel me? The problem is, if you do the meter burn to cause the armor break, you have to hold down when you meter burn it, which sacrifices that big boy damage you get from launching them. You have to hold down, and it just becomes just like 100, and it becomes basically a 13% damaging move. The problem I have with that is, one, you're burning meter. You have to burn meter to do that. 2, if they don't break away, you just burn meter and sacrifice damage for nothing. For absolutely nothing. So if I'm a player that is playing against a Shao Kahn player, I would probably wait till I'm already in the air and then break out at a point like that, at a point over there, as opposed to just breaking out the minute you go for it. I would never break out the minute you go for that. I would never. I would absolutely wait until I'm launched into the air and then break away somewhere at that point. Once I'm launched in the air, then I'll break away. Because as it stands right now, there's no reason to break away that early into the combo. None at all. You can absolutely break away right there at the peak, at the height. So like, Shao Kahn's armor break becomes absolutely useless. It becomes more of a risk, because if you do go for this, you're just burning meter. You're just burning meter. Now, the awesome thing is, if it is able to connect, it'll relaunch. It'll relaunch. But the fact that you have to use resources in order to do it is absolutely terrible when you look at some of the other people like Sub-Zero and Scorpion who don't need to burn any sort of meter in order to do their armor break. And in Scorpion's case, his also relaunches just like Shao Kahn's. It's just Scorpion doesn't have to take absolutely any risk when he does it. There is no risk in Scorpion doing it. Whereas Shao Kahn's relaunch, but he has to burn meter and sacrifice potentially a freak ton of damage. Like, I don't know any combos with Shao Kahn, but like he's gonna sacrifice a crap ton of damage if he goes for his armor break move and he's burning meter to do it. So that's the issue. That's where the double-edged sword comes in. The armor break is a great idea. It really is. The implementation is where it falls short. It makes absolutely no sense at all as to why NetherRealm would implement it like this. Again, especially when you look at it, most people have an uppercut. Granted, some people uppercuts are better than others, but everyone has it. And the startup on an uppercut is very fast. And if they had implemented to where if you do catch them with the uppercut, it relaunches them, and then you can continue the combo that you earned. That's how I feel it should have been implemented, as opposed to the way they're doing it now, which is gonna make some people's armor break absolutely freaking irrelevant. Absolutely irrelevant. So that's what I wanted to talk about. That's why I think the combo breaker, the armor breakers suck, and that it's a great idea that just has a horrible implementation. So with that being said, if you like this video, make sure you smack that like button. If you hate it, smack that dislike button. If you want to talk more about the armor breaks and Mortal Kombat 11, leave in the comments below. And remember, your life is a fantasy.